All right, hey guys, here we are, hole 3. Gonna take a look at this one. I'm not sure what kind of wind we get here. Maybe some sort of tailwind. Let's take a look. Yep, sure enough. Oh, I gotta think about what to do. So one of the things you may want to do is probably bring a Saturn, which is something I didn't do. Which means I may lay this back just a little bit intentionally. Because if I hit this too far down there, I get to long iron range, and without a Saturn, this becomes tough. So, you may want to take a look at my master guide. Even if you're in pro for this hole, biggest reason will be the second shot. With the Saturn, you're going to want to use my technique for the second shot with a Saturn. I don't have any bag prep to be able to do that, so I'm probably going to lay up off this drive a little bit. In terms of my topspin, I get something along the lines of this, just to make sure that we get it to Guardian distance. Just try to focus a little bit more on precision. So I'm even coming off the power a little bit. Keep in mind that I could go a little bit more full typically. But I want to make sure that I get this to Guardian distance, which is going to change the shot. I'm not even going to hit the same shot. I'm going to have to use this backstop back here as opposed to just going for the hole. This isn't a very good, and you're going to see exactly why here. This is a really tough shot with the long iron if you don't have a full backspin approach. So as I mentioned, my master guide really is going to execute this and at least show you the technique. Now, the only difference with this wind angle, you'll probably want to bring it around left to right. So if you do want to watch that guide and kind of modify this to a Saturn, you'll probably want to bring this in from the left side with maybe half a bar of right spin or one full bar of right spin, and come around from the left side of the hole and try to make it in from the left. It's the only difference between my master guide and this one. But what I'm going to do with the Guardian here, as you can see, we are going to, this is essentially as far as I could have drove it to pull off this shot. We're essentially going to play the backstop here and just try to get this up here as high as possible. So I'm thinking with a Guardian 6, 5-ish rings is probably in the neighborhood of what we need. So this is actually what I consider probably a harder shot. It's really hard to get this to shoot down that hill right at the perfect angle. So that's one of the main reasons that I'd like to get that to long iron range, which would be kind of blast it down there a little bit farther. But it's going to require a little bit different technique for me to use that long iron shot. So we will need, a full backspin approach. You'll want to take a look, as I mentioned, kind of at that master guide just to get you kind of in the general ballpark of what you need to do. Keep in mind with the Saturn, we're looking at, and maybe 90 backspin is going to be kind of where we're at. And with the accuracy, 1.9 per ring at max. Mid club is probably going to be 2.25, 2.25 per ring. So if your wind is 10, now let's say your wind's 9. No, that's too much. Let's say your wind's 6, which is going to be, almost 3 rings, 2.5 rings. So that's more or less kind of the adjustment. I wanted to at least talk about that. But that's really going to be your only option. It's going to be the Saturn there. So, keep that in mind. Good luck with that hole. I'll see you guys on the next one.